They're calling it the War and Peace of books about whores. Anna David's new novel is about a journalist covering the L.A. social scene while writing a feature about a high-class call girl. The presumptuously named novel is called Bought. And since we have the delightful and delicious Anna in studio, let's spend a few minutes asking her about all things hookers, because she knows skanks like I know shanks. It's true, I'll stab you for $3. First off, this book is about a high-class call girl. Does any woman in the business refer to themselves as a low-class call girl?
Well, the girl that you introduced me to, she said, I'm Greg's date, a low-class call girl.
You might want to use the word girl very, very loosely. Very loosely.
After doing that on the gender segment, I find that incredibly narrow-minded.
But in all seriousness, no, and I don't even think many girls who are high-class prostitutes go around introducing themselves as high-class prostitutes. It's not really, there's a lot of denial. From what happened is I did this story for Detail.
Yeah, explain what this book's about.
Okay, thank you. That's a great first question. About 3 or 4 years ago, I did this investigation on high-class hookers in Hollywood.
I did the same, by the way, but not for a magazine.
I studied your research by following you around, and I basically found out about all these girls that are their playmates, they're like penthouse pets, and they're porn stars, and they are making bank because men will pay a lot of money to have sex with them. Like,
wait a second, you're telling me that there are men out there that will pay money to have sex
Greg,
with hot women?
I do not mean to shatter your illusions of the world. No, but when
American men?
I say a lot of money, I'm talking about, these girls would make up to $100 grand a night. One night.
One night.
Good Lord.
Wow.
And, yeah.
I might do that.
After taxes?
Now, you said, basically, don't all porn stars do this? Isn't this, I mean, they always say it's like there's an overlap between these call girls and porn stars. But the fact is, once you're being paid for sex on camera, this is no different.
I mean, they call it side work in the industry,
yes.
And it is, I mean, we can't say 100% every single porn star is doing it, but I think we can say 99.9.
Yeah, because, I mean, there can't be any difference between, the only difference is there's no camera there,
right.
And they're probably getting paid more.
A lot more.
Yeah. Now, who are the clients? You obviously have to be very wealthy, so who would these clients be?
Well, I did, in my research, I ended up getting a hold of the contents of this laptop of this pimp that is in a Cuban jail as we speak, and there was a list of client names, and I was all excited thinking, big names. I'm like, Greg Gutfeld might be on this, whatever. It was a whole bunch of people that were very Googleable, but they were like the biggest, lawyer in Des Moines, the biggest, investment banker in, some random place. So they were rich, anonymous dudes. In the book, which is fiction, I basically fictionalized all that I learned and made it into this, gripping
They're based on real people, though, right?
No, not at all. They're figments of my imagination. I mean, yes, just like you imagine unicorns, I imagine
Tell me about
novels.
this man who likes Thai-boy prostitutes named Greg Gutfeld. I love that chapter.
I wish you would have changed the name to make it a little less obvious.
I know, but I had to lure in the Red Eye fans.
And what about Goni Banza? I mean, come on. And Gorge Blooney.
No.
Caleb Daldwin.
This is not that kind of
Fraud
book.
Penn. You didn't even bother changing his last name. Hey, do escorts get mad or get angry on their titles, like what you're supposed to call them? Like if you call them a call girl or an escort or a hooker, I mean, are there names that piss them off that you should be? What should you be calling them? Nothing?
I think that's a good question. I think it's hard to generalize about all of them. I would say that whore is probably not a very popular word. It's got a very negative connotation.
Bill pleads with me to call him that afterwards.
Cross that one off my list.
But honestly, I mean, I think that there's really no difference between what kept women are doing, what prostitutes are doing, and what trophy wives are doing. Walking around, you'll see this gorgeous young girl on the arm of some old, bald, fat producer, and they'll be introduced to you as a lovely couple. And we're all supposed to believe that this is true love and that she would love him if he were a plumber. Yeah,
this began, it's a magazine article. You interviewed an $80 a night prostitute. So what are they not doing that, like, Governor Spitzer's, like, $3,000 a night girl does?
Well, I don't think it's...
Is it just because she's ugly?
Yeah, what they're doing. I mean, the thing about those girls that were making all of that money is, this isn't necessarily Ashley Dupree, but they were famous. They were men had fantasized about having sex, like, I'm finally in bed with X.
Yeah.
And so one of these girls told me that they get so nervous that sometimes the guys can't even perform, so they're getting paid that kind of money to not put out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the ideal
That's
situation.
the job,
yeah.
huh?
Last question. What is the most screwed up, frightening, bizarro anecdote that you came across while doing this book?
Oh my God, that's a lot of pressure.
Well, you better answer it, 'cause I frankly don't have time.
There was nothing that really wasn't sort of sad and screwed up. The most screwed up thing that happened to me is I went to a pimp's apartment. He wouldn't be interviewed in public, and I went there alone because that's what he insisted on. And then he demanded that I pay him for stories and got really psychotic, and I lived to tell the tale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's the role of a journalist, Anna.
Thank you, Greg.
And he played the role of a pimp.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I'm glad you changed my name in that one. All right, once again, the book, Anna David's new book, is called Bought. There it is. It's a delightful cover.
Good
I like
cover.
the cover.
Good
It's very
layout.
striking. Who's the publisher?
HarperCollins.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
Congratulations.
yes,
It's at a bookstore near you right now. Probably be made into a movie, I imagine. Coming up next, I'll play back some messages you folks have been leaving on my direct line. Probably will be made into a movie.